my name is Phoebe Liebling. I've been a registered nutritional therapist for over a decade, and today I'm here in collaboration with Bare Biology to talk all about collagen. Because everyone seems to be telling you to take collagen, but no one is actually telling you why. But that changes now. So let's dive in. Assessing a house to determine whether it's going to be your next home. You're definitely going to consider how well constructed it is. Is it built with sturdy bricks, reinforced with steel and solid wood to stand firm against the elements and the passage of time? Or is it looking a bit ramshackle, more of a piecemeal patchwork held together with hopes, dreams and promises of a full renovation? The key concepts you're thinking about in that analogy are longevity and resilience, because if you're making a life in that house, you don't want it falling down around you anytime soon. Yes, of course you know that over the years minor cracks will appear, but with good maintenance and reinforcement with quality materials, that same house in front of you today will remain robust and comfortable for decades to come. Centuries even. And this is exactly how to understand how collagen status will impact the structural integrity of your body. It's the foundational framework, and a well-built foundation allows everything else built on top of it to function optimally. As we age, just like a house, creaks, cracks and drafts can appear at an ever-increasing rate because our ability to make collagen declines from our early 30s. But as long as we have abundant building blocks available to replace any that need replacing, and in this case we're talking about amino acids rather than actual bricks and mortar, along with reminders to do that reinforcement from our lifestyle habits, we can very easily prevent any concerns arising due to that natural decline. There are also going to be other periods in our lives when our collagen status will be tested and need extra support irrespective of our age. Yes, if we add one of those on top of aging, that will mean we need even more help. But occurrences like injury, surgery, issues with the digestive system such as acid reflux, low hormone levels and pregnancy will all increase our collagen use and requirement. And I'm going to run through those in a bit more detail in a second. But first, I want to actually break down what collagen's role is in the body. Because like I said before, everyone is telling you need collagen and you should take theirs. But very few are actually telling you what it's doing. So, collagen is the most abundant protein we have in our body. It accounts for around 30% of our total protein content. It provides structure, support and strength to various tissues including our skin, muscles, bones, tendons, ligaments, blood vessels and organs. And collagen is super unique as it's made up of a triple helix. So 3 strands of amino acid chains spiraling together, which makes it incredibly strong. If you've ever seen something like a suspension bridge, you might be able to visualize those thick metal cords that are made up of multiple strands wrapped around each other. That's what collagen would look like if you blew it up a few million times. That unique structure allows it to withstand significant stress and maintain tissue integrity with all the yanking, pulling and mechanical maneuvering we put our bodies through on a daily basis. And it doesn't stop there. Did you know that there are at least 28 different types of collagen in the body? Some would say there are close to 35, but we're getting into the weeds with those numbers. And instead we are going to stick to the 5 types that are the most abundant, which I will now run through for you. So type 1 collagen constitutes about 90% of the body's collagen. It's found in the dermis, so the deeper layer of the skin, your bones, tendons and ligaments. And it provides what we call tensile strength, which is resistance from breaking under pressure. So it's going to give structure and resilience. This is your steel framework of a building. It forms thick, rope-like fibrils that help tissues resist stretching and tearing. And it's crucial for the firmness and elasticity of your skin as well. Which is why the degradation of type 1 collagen with age and UV exposure is what leads to skin becoming papery and delicate, as well as wrinkles and sagging. It can also allow more movement in joints if ligaments and tendons weaken, which can cause friction, arthritic pain, and sort of general lack of mobility. Type 2 collagen, comparatively, is found mainly in your articular cartilage, which just means it's in your joints. It's also in your spinal discs and the vitreous humor in your eye. It's got a similar structure to type 1 in that we call it a fibrillar collagen, so those fiber-like pieces, but it's more elastic and kind of like a gel-like network than type 1 because it's designed to resist compressive forces rather than tension. So it's what provides shock absorption and cushioning in joints, so it's crucial for smooth, pain-free joint movement. Breakdown of type 2 collagen is associated with osteoarthritis, so when the cartilage in the joint itself gets worn down, then leading to joint pain, stiffness, and that loss of mobility. And autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis can trigger your own immune system to attack type 2 collagen. Type 3 collagen is found alongside type 1 in the skin, lungs, blood vessels, intestinal wall, and the uterus. And it's really abundant in our rapidly growing tissues, which is why it's really important during pregnancy for supporting fetal growth, as well as in injury and post-operative recovery for healing wounds. It's also fibrillar, like type 1, but it's more flexible and elastic and acts as a scaffolding in the soft tissues alongside the more sort of structural framework of type 1. Its main functions are to provide elasticity and strength to organs and tissues, so it supports what we call vascular integrity, which is the structure and function of your blood vessels, as well as the gut lining. And low levels are associated with vascular fragility, which can lead to issues like easy bruising, very thin or papery skin, and poor wound healing times, as well as gut barrier dysfunction, and issues like leaky gut, which we would more technically refer to as intestinal permeability. That's actually the underlying trigger for many autoimmune diseases, as well as food intolerances. And it's because the intestinal lining actually reforms every few weeks. So those with any kind of digestive issues, food sensitivities, or intolerance really want to be focusing on making sure their type 3 collagen levels are super well supported to remedy those issues. Type 4, we've got this one and one more, is located in the layers of the skin, but in the basement membrane, which is a delicate layer that sits between the epidermis, so your top skin layer, and the dermis, the deeper skin layer that we talked about with type 1. This type acts like a biological glue, anchoring the epidermis to the dermis and maintaining skin's overall integrity and polarity. It forms a mesh-like web, unlike the rope-like fibers of type 1, which I was talking about, that are in the dermis. This also allows it to help filter molecules, regulate cell behavior, and signal repair when the skin barrier is damaged, so it's critical during wound healing, skin regeneration, and preventing barrier dysfunction, which can lead to things like sensitivity, dryness, or irritation. Type 5, our last one, is then your type to find in smaller amounts in the skin, hair, the cornea, the front of your eye, the placenta, and cell surfaces. It usually coexists with types 1 and type 3, particularly in the skin and organs, where it forms really thin fibrils that help regulate the diameter, width, and assembly of the structural type 1 fibers. It's key to the organization of what we call the collagen matrix, so we'll determine its quality. And if we go back to our house building analogy, we'd call it the foreman. It's telling you where to put the next steel rod in, how close it should be to its neighbours, how they should be joined together, that kind of thing. It's actually vital for corneal transparency, so if you have issues with glare, foggy vision, that could be important. It's not the same as a cataract, as that's to do with other transparent issues of the eye. Defects in type 5 collagen are actually linked to Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and hypermobility disorders, so if that's something you suffer with, have a think about type 5. Right, with all of that run through, let's talk about the things that will increase our collagen requirements. So let's start with the impact of getting older, which is always a joy. But I will say at this stage, age is not a reason to accept any loss of quality of life or any kind of health issue. It's just a drop in efficiency as the body has been working away for a long time. It just needs a bit more TLC, much like a classic car, which will run beautifully as long as it gets an extra service compared to what a new car would need. At this point, you might have started to realise that I'm quite a visual human being. People ask me how I remember everything I do, and in short, this is how. So, natural collagen production declines with age, and some would be really mean and say it starts in our mid to late 20s, and others would say early 30s. But by the age of 40, the body isn't matching the turnover, so we lose about 1% of our collagen each year. That reduction can lead to visible signs of aging, such as wrinkles, sagging skin, and can affect your joint health, bone density, and muscle mass if you don't intervene. And environmental factors like UV exposure, smoking, and high sugar intake can further accelerate collagen degradation because they all create damage to collagen that can then no longer be repaired as effectively. Next, you have things like injury and wound healing, because as the structural foundation of our body, collagen is central to the repair of all connective tissues, skin, and blood vessels. Collagen actually becomes what we term the rate-limiting nutrient for healing, which boils down to how much collagen you have to use, determining how fast and effectively you will recover from something. And this is because during a healing process, the body ramps up collagen synthesis to rebuild what we call your extracellular matrices, which basically means structural framework in snazzy biological terms. This could be after bigger things like surgery, tendon or ligament injuries and muscle tears, or more everyday things like sprains, strains, skin abrasions, cuts or burns. And in a 2019 study that was published in the journal Nutrients, it showed that supplementing hydrolyzed collagen significantly improved wound healing and skin regeneration in patients after surgery, with a notable decrease in the time it took to get back to normal daily habits, as well as decreasing scarring. Right, next on to another form of healing, but from a different angle: pregnancy and postpartum recovery. So during pregnancy, collagen supports the growth of the uterus, skin and breast tissue. It's vital for the placenta, strengthens blood vessels to accommodate increased blood volume. Did you know a pregnant mother will double her blood volume? Like fully double it. This is why iron issues are so common during pregnancy too. And it will also be key to the musculoskeletal adaptations necessary for a growing bump, because there's a lot of adjustment physically to the organization of a woman's body for that to happen. And hormones can really impact the integrity of things like ligaments, makes them much stretchier. Once the baby is born, you then have the postpartum collagen demands for rebuilding stretched skin and abdominal tissues, repairing the pelvic floor and perineum, helping with the recovery of joint stability as the normal laxity from pregnancy hormones subsides. When you're pregnant, hormones make everything stretch more, which is really important, but then you need them not to stay that way. Otherwise, you're going to have an issue, especially if you're carrying a baby around. It will also assist hair, skin and nail recovery as those hormonal shifts happen too, because a lot of women can experience things like postpartum hair drop, and that can be to do with their collagen status. This is actually a really critical moment as you see a significant depletion of collagen levels, which is combined with nutrient drain from things like breastfeeding and sleep deprivation, whilst your requirements are shooting up. So preemptive boosting of collagen levels during pregnancy, as well as high supplementation in the postpartum period, can prevent issues with slow tissue repair, muscle aches, hair loss, and lowered immune resilience, which a lot of women can suffer with as well. So speaking of hormones, let's slide into a totally different hormonal landscape, which also sees huge shifts in collagen requirements, and that is perimenopause and menopause. Estrogen is a key regulator of collagen synthesis, which a lot of people don't realize. So as those levels fluctuate and then decline, collagen production rapidly falls along with them. We've already said that from 40 years old, we're all losing 1% of our total collagen per year, but women can lose up to 30% of their structural collagen in the first 5 years post-menopause, and then also not have the stimulus to produce enough to recover. This is why you can see rapid losses in bone mineral density, potentially leading to osteopenia and osteoporosis, as collagen makes up about 90% of the organic matrix in bones. It gives bones their flexibility and ability to absorb impact. So if we don't intervene and collagen formation is impaired, we can see a rapid increase in fracture risk. And study shows that 5 to 10 grams per day of collagen will benefit bone density when paired with good sources of dietary calcium, optimal vitamin D, and resistance training. When it comes to bones, we can't just rely on one, we need the whole gang. The building blocks of collagen, the shuttle bus of vitamin D to bring calcium in to reinforce the collagen framework, and the impact on our bones from training to wake everyone up to do those rebuilding jobs. I have to say that supplemental collagen during perimenopause and into menopause is one of my absolutely non-negotiable elements for women, not just for the important health elements like bone density, but also to maintain a sense of self through maintaining our identity and generally being able to look in the mirror and see someone we recognize, not someone who suddenly looks old. Another group who will benefit hugely from the addition of supplemental collagen are those physically active individuals amongst us. Regular exercise places repetitive strain on joints, tendons, ligaments, and muscles. And whether you are more of a cardio bunny in the running, spinning, cycling club, which is more impact and friction, or the resistance training side where we're actively looking to cause micro damage to muscles to get them to repair, strengthen, and grow, collagen is going to be integral to rebuild, reinforce, and maintain those tissues. Much like the example where collagen becomes the rate-limiting nutrient for healing after injury, a randomized controlled trial in the British Journal of Nutrition from 2015 showed that when you combine resistance training with daily supplemental collagen, there was a significant increase in muscle mass and strength compared to resistance training alone. There was also a faster recovery time and decreased risk of injury in the group taking collagen. In terms of timing, it's better to have it than to not have it, but particularly for tendon-heavy sports, something like tennis, it's been shown that taking collagen with additional vitamin C 1 hour before training improves tendon regeneration and really reduces injury risk. That was in a paper from 2017 in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition by Shaw et al., if you want to look it up. I could continue in this vein highlighting many more examples, but we would be here all day. So I would just summarize those sort of other bits as any situation where you have an increased rate of collagen breakdown due to tissue damage like autoimmune diseases, inflammatory bowel disease, or leaky gut, as well as chronic inflammation from stress, blood sugar issues, or being overweight, they will all be benefited by adding in collagen. Aesthetic procedures like microneedling, laser resurfacing, chemical peels, and cosmetic surgery will also have better treatment outcomes if supplemental collagen is added, as the whole point of them is to trigger damage to tissue to then encourage healing for an anti-aging effect. But what about dietary sources of collagen, I hear you say? Surely we should be able to eat our medicine. Supplements can't be better than getting collagen from what we eat. Now, I have always and will always be a food-first clinician, but the key word I want to highlight at this stage is concentration. Yes, absolutely, incorporating collagen-rich foods into your diet can support the body's natural production, but in terms of the amount of collagen or collagen-supporting nutrients you will get from a normal-sized serving of those foods, that would be a tiny fraction of what you would get from a supplement. So dietary sources are your general happy top-ups, but for therapeutic impacts, you would need a supplement. So as a few examples of collagen-supporting foods, you could have bone broth made by simmering or ideally pressure cooking raw animal bones in water with some vinegar to extract collagen from them. Animal skin, feet, and connective tissues, delicious. Fish skin and scales, either from things like pieces of fresh fish or buying tinned fish with the skin and small bones included. Egg whites, as these contain proline, which is an amino acid essential for collagen production. Citrus fruits, berries, raw tomatoes, peppers, and parsley, as those are high in vitamin C, which is a cofactor vitamin to help us produce collagen, so you combine that with some of the examples above. And allium vegetables, like garlic, onions, chives, and leeks, because the sulfur they contain also helps both form collagen, but can protect it from being broken down. So as I said, those are all beneficial, but collagen supplements offer concentrated doses of collagen peptides, making them more effective for therapeutic purposes. The term hydrolyzed collagen peptides means that the longer protein molecules have been chopped up into smaller amino acid pieces, making them easier to absorb and use. And if you've ever heard of something having a high bioavailability, that is what that means. You can rapidly take something up and use it. It doesn't need to be broken down, reformatted, and stuck back together in order for you to use it. Now, not all collagen supplements are created equal, which is why I'm specifically holding this product in my hand. When you are looking at a collagen product, it is incredibly important to check for the following. And I will always say if it takes you longer than 3 clicks on a brand's website to try and find this information, I'm already considering it a bad choice. Because brands who are dedicated to delivering high quality and effective products will not hide that information from you. Right, so once you've got the ingredients in front of you, you will also immediately discount any that do not disclose the source or types of collagen included in their product. You then want to know that any bovine collagen like this is grass-fed and European derived, ideally to avoid feeding into the issues we've seen in Brazil with deforestation. Or if you're going for a marine collagen like the Skinful product by Bare Biology, then that should be wild sourced. They should also be non-GMO and third-party tested for heavy metals and contaminants. You also do not need anything like fillers, anti-caking agents, or artificial sweeteners. Maltodextrin, sucralose, aspartame all get big red crosses, and I'm really mean, so even things like stevia and other more natural sweeteners I tend to veer away from. Going unflavoured means the product is more versatile, for one, and if you really want a flavoured option, then choose something that contains a berry powder, which would also add vitamin C, which we now know is a great support for collagen formation. Just you don't need to add things like sugars and sweeteners. Then we consider format, and this scans back to the idea of therapeutic dose levels and concentration of collagen per serving. From scientific studies, we know that therapeutic doses of collagen generally fall between 10 to 20 grams per day. In a 2019 randomized controlled trial, which is the gold standard of clinical investigation, we found that 10 grams of collagen peptides daily improved skin elasticity, hydration, and dermal collagen density, so the amount of collagen you've got in the layers of the skin. But then for joint function, increasing muscle mass and supporting bone density, those bigger structures, we need to be aiming for closer to 15 to 20 grams daily. And that would be from a bovine source, because that's going to be the most concentrated with the collagen forms we need for those bigger body structures, hence fundamental foundation. This is why powdered collagen supplements are going to be the best choice, because 1 to 2 tablespoons will provide 10 to 20 grams of collagen, making it easy to adjust your intake based on your goals. And that can also mix into anything like hot or cold drinks, soups, sauces, stews, yogurt, dressings, anything slightly liquid basically. Because the collagen peptides are in those small pieces, it will just disappear. That collagen that you consume can then be rapidly absorbed and used straight away. Powders also generally have less additives, as options like gummies, liquids, gels or capsules will need extra things to hold the collagen in suspension within something like a liquid sachet or to make a gummy out of. Capsules or gummy supplements are very well marketed though, I totally get that, but they will usually only provide around 500 milligrams to 1 gram per serving, and that could be in 3 to 4 gummies or capsules, which is falling way below a therapeutic level. The gummies will basically just be giving you sugar, which we know is going to increase collagen breakdown rate. I know I'm mean, I know they taste nice, but let's call a spade a spade. Go and buy some Haribo or some Jelly Babies for a fraction of the price, because that's basically what you're getting if you're using those ones. I'm not here as a marketeer, but a pure powdered collagen is the only realistic way to reach an effective daily dose. The others may sing you a wonderful song, but they will all fall short every time. And they will usually do so whilst costing you a lot more money than a powder. So, to wrap all of this up with a nice concluding bow, your body is your long-term home. Its resilience, its beauty and function are all built upon strong foundational materials. Collagen is one of the most essential building blocks for that, and choosing a quality supplement like this is like choosing the best timber and mortar for a lasting structure. Prioritize purity, dose and bioavailability, and if possible, begin before signs of weakness appear. As with home maintenance, prevention is always easier than repair. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment if so, or if you have any questions, and check the caption for links and extra details. And I will see you next time.